Yo, how's it going, guys? Tonight we're kind of going easy with some Trader Joe's orange chicken. I had to take my car in today, unfortunately, to the dealership and get some work done on it. If you followed me on Twitch, I've been talking about this back and forth for quite some time, and I've had to deal with the broken air conditioning, which may not sound like a big deal to you, but in actuality, it's a pretty bad thing here. It gets up to, oh gosh, like 115, 20, 100. Yeah, it's completely unbearable. Couldn't drive my car all summer because it was in the shop, and finally we're just taking it straight into the actual official Toyota dealership and having them work on it. But just trying to put together some meals for the next few days because won't be able to go anywhere necessarily unless we get an Uber. So we have orange chicken today that from Trader Joe's. If you have a Trader Joe's near you, I highly recommend this pack. Is amazing. It is as good, if not better, than what is it called? Than Panda Express, because for Panda Express, you kind of only get so much chicken, and then yeah, it's a ton of sodium. And with this one, you get 2 sauce packets and you get all the chicken, and it's pretty easy to put together. So we're just gonna take whatever leftovers that we have veggie wise in the fridge and use those. It's kind of a leftovers night, not necessarily leftovers, but I'm trying to make do with what I have, to be honest. We've got everything's kind of wrapped up in cellophane from what I put away throughout the week when I'm making something, and then usually turn it into some sort of a fried rice or stir fry or something like that, just because as much as some people love leftovers, it's not really my thing. I would prefer to, if they're not as good as when I ate them the first time, I'll just remake them into something better. So we have half a green bell pepper. What did we use the other half of this bell pepper for? Was it yesterday? I can't remember what I used this half a bell pepper for. Maybe I used it in a sandwich or salad, or I think I made it with eggs, to be honest. What was yesterday? I can't remember what I ate yesterday. We had something with rice. Oh no, I didn't have bell pepper then. This is from my breakfast bell pepper. I cut these up and put them with eggs. I don't know. Maybe we'll do breakfast one day. The problem is that when I'm making breakfast, I'm usually just in like a robe or whatever, just in the kitchen, comfy, trying to wake up, trying to get something together. And I don't think that's the best thing for YouTube, so we'll see. This is all kind of experimental and seeing what works and what you guys like and trying to put that together. So just cutting these bell peppers into nice little strips. My thought process for these is that Mix really likes the Beijing beef at Panda Express, and that has these bell peppers and onions in it. I'm not going to do onion because I don't really have a ton of onion right now, and I want to use that for the fried rice, but definitely have half a bell pepper, and just going to take out the seeds and slice these up. But yeah, so story time. I dropped off my car at the dealership, told them the whole shebang and story of how I've had no car because I've had no AC, and I've been taking it in there since over 6-7 months, probably almost to a year now, because it's February right now, and I started taking it in April-ish, late April. So kind of a long time to not really have a fully working car. I mean, when I had it, I could drive it, and that's great. But no AC here in the summer is not doable. It's fine in the winter. I can roll down the window, or it's not a big deal. But otherwise, it's just too freaking hot. So told the dealership that, and then was gonna try and figure out how to get home after everything. And I looked at the cost of an Uber or a Lyft ride, and it was so expensive. Oh, this is my carrot from yesterday's salad. I already cleaned this and peeled it and stuff, so we're just gonna dice this one up. But it was over $30-something for a ride home, and I was like, I'm a little broke for this right now. I don't think I can afford this. And so I was like, you know what? We're not too far from this store that's like one of the grocery stores that I like to go and just kind of browse and get whatever random crap in. So I was like, you know what? Actually, it was near Trader Joe's now that I think about it. I was like, I can walk. And so I decided to walk from the dealership to Trader Joe's. And then I got to Trader Joe's and got a water bottle. And I was like, I feel pretty good. I could keep going. Like, it's fairly nice. It's, like in the early in the day, not too hot yet. I could keep walking. So I kept walking, and luckily I grabbed my hat from out of the car, so I had that on me, and kept walking. Meanwhile, I think Mix was still asleep, so I was just like, I'm just gonna walk, and I can probably make it home. It's not that far. But I was taking pictures and just sending them to him as I was walking, just so it's where I was at and why I wasn't home yet when he woke up. And I got about 5 miles in to my walk, and I still wasn't home yet. I'd been walking for over an hour, and I was tired. I was hot. I refilled my water bottle at one of the hotels or resorts nearby that I knew, and I was like, I'm getting kind of warm. And by that time, Mix had woken up, and he's like, where are you? What are you doing? And I was like, he's like, are you walking home? And I was like, no. And he's like, what are you doing? I was like, the Uber was gonna be like $30. I can't afford that. But look here, I'm next to the sandwich shop that we like to go to. And he was just like, oh my gosh, go buy yourself a sandwich and then get an Uber and come home. You are not walking the rest of the way home. So I ended up getting a sandwich there and getting an Uber home the rest of the way. But by that time, it was, instead of it being like over $30, it was only like 14 or something like that. So definitely, look, I saved that money and spent it on a sandwich lunch. Oh, and I got an egg now. We had a little bit of a leftover piece of onion. It wasn't much, but here's the world's tiniest wok that I absolutely adore. I actually got this from, TJ Maxx, and I was like, look, you can use this to cook. And Mix is like, okay, sure, but he hasn't even, I don't know if he's even used this yet, because it's such a tiny little thing. To be honest, it's way too small for the fried rice, but it's too freaking cute. And I needed to use my other pan for my peppers, so we're just gonna do that. A little bit of avocado oil in the pan. The stove is on, despite the fact that the coils don't look like it. I will say one of the worst things about this apartment living situation is that I grew up using propane gas for my stove, and the learning curve on this, I can't tell you how many pans I ruined or things that I burned because I just can't tell how hot it is. And I'm just like, I hope this is hot enough. I don't know if that's hot enough. I don't know if it's going to get hot enough. And then the worst part is, oh, hello, janitor, cleaning up carrots that I dropped. The worst part is that when you're finished, usually you turn off the stove, and if you have a gas range, you can, once the flame is gone, the heat source is gone. But those coil suckers stay hot for a while, so it's difficult when you're in a small apartment and it's hot and your AC is trying to keep up and you need to make dinner, and it gets complicated, but we have a little bit of that rice from yesterday's fried ahi that we made. I saved some of it back with the intention that, you know, we could have some fried rice, because I know the best friend loves fried rice, and it's a good way to add more veggies into the diet, because veggies are good for you, and I'm trying to make him eat more, so it's an easy way. I got the carrots kind of softening up there. I like to put ingredients in, as far as with this wok and situation, you start with the one that takes the longest to cook, and then you work your way down to the one that you want the least cooked. So carrots, I definitely want a good cook on them, because root vegetable takes a while. I tried to chop them pretty small though. Gonna let those go for a minute. But yeah, so came home. It was hot. Today was just freaking hot. So I'm a little tired. I don't know if you can tell or not. I'm probably even a little bit sunburned. I'll throw the onions in. Carrots are kind of soft now. But note to self, I need to turn the cutting board over if I need to scrape stuff off the cutting board, because that totally gets stuck on the ridge. But yeah, it was, I want to say it got up to like 90 degrees. Oh, there's my focus. My goodness. This is a learning curve. Yeah, I think today got up to 90 degrees now that I think about it. But we're going to let those onions go with carrots. The pan on the other side is getting a little bit hot, and I'm going to keep checking it, and once it gets up to the temperature, then you do the little splishy splashy test where you spritz the water in it, and then if it dances on the pan, then you're good to go, and you turn down the heat, add your oil, and there's no problems. But by the time I got home, it was hot, man. I was roasting. So car is officially in with the mechanics. I am trying to be patient with all of this. We'll see how much damage this ends up costing. It's been quite a ride, though, I will say. I'm lucky to where right now my day job allows me to stay home and not have to go out all the time, but who knows how long that'll last, because things are just too slow here, I think. Yeah, I think the pan's getting hot. Let's give it a test. A little bit of water and a splishy splashy. Nope, not quite. You see how it's bubbling? It's not quite there. It needs a little bit more. It's almost there, though. And a stirry with the wok. This is the cutest little wok, though. It's gonna take a little bit longer to cook in this wok just because it is smaller. And so I think there's less heat going to all the things. It's like smaller pan, more ingredients, takes longer to heat than a large pan with less ingredients, right? But trying my best not to dump anything on the ground. But yeah, how's the temperature where you guys are at? It's been unseasonably warm is what was described. So the air conditioning is on now. It's February and the air conditioning is on. I don't know if I'm ready for this. Today's video also will not have any of our cooking audio because I was cooking while Mix was streaming. So rather than listen to him yell at chat, we're gonna have this nice music in the background. I might switch up the track next week and we'll just do it week by week. One week we'll have one track and then we'll keep going. Thank goodness for Epidemic Sound, yeah? Totally not sponsored, but just saying, I don't know, I like this one. This has got a good chill vibe to it. Got the rice now thrown in to the pan. This was cold rice. I put this in the fridge last night, and the grains are kind of hard, so just trying to break them up because that's what I was taught to do when you make fried rice. Obviously giving a little stir in the pan. This wok is actually really nice because it's so new that it hasn't had a chance to be banged around too much, so the non-stick on it is really good. I want to get another pan, but I just don't know. I don't know. He might kill me if I try to get another one that's for a little tiny space. As it is, there's no storage space in this apartment. I'll have to show you guys one day how horrible the shelves are and how horrible the storage options are. But, oh, look at that. Now you see the water dancing around. Alright, it's hot enough. We're going to turn down the heat, and we'll put in some oil into that as soon as we make sure this isn't burning. Trying to get all those little onions off down. They just kind of stick to the edge. But I have peppers standing by on the side. Let's see here. Little flippy. And it's chill. When it came to making these videos, I've been talking a lot with Mix about it and kind of discussing the back and forth of it, and I was like, do people really enjoy this, like hanging out and just cooking with somebody? I've always seen those hyper, today we're making something with a splash of something and whatever crusted and all that good jazz. And I was like, man, I wish I could do stuff like that. I love cooking. Cooking's such a comfort for me. And I love food. So like, oh my gosh. But I was like, oh, but my little apartment is just so it doesn't look like those kitchens of those really nice places, and I don't have that expensive equipment like they do, and I don't have all those things. Like, people are gonna make fun of me for this, but Mix was like, no, you should still do it. He's been so supportive and encouraging, and I feel like I'm finally stable enough. Stable, like I've been crazy, but yeah, finally at a point where I can just, okay, I'll do it. I'll start recording dinners for now, because that's primarily when I do the most cooking, but I'll start recording making these meals and sharing that process with everybody, and kind of, I don't know, getting that feedback. Maybe we'll do a stream one day and we'll show you guys in real time, but for now this is an option that allows me to also record when he's working. And oh gosh, look how pretty those peppers are. Those are pretty. There's something about like a bright red and green veggies. It's just like, wow. And then this pan's so orange. I think I should add green to it or something. I think we have frozen peas, so we'll put those in. Fried rice is kind of one of those magical things where you can throw just about anything in it, and it's okay. It's not going to be a problem. See? Bloop, 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 bloop. Oh, there goes a frozen pea on the side. We'll have to clean that later. But it's one of those magical dishes where you kind of just throw whatever you have, leftovers, whatever pieces, and it becomes a meal versus it rotting or waste. Food waste isn't cool, so I guess you could make a soup, right, from veggie scraps, but I'm more of a fried rice type of person, so we got some garlic here. Normally I'll dice garlic, but I'm feeling lazy today because I'm so freaking burned out from walking 5 miles. But using my pepper grinder, my old-fashioned one, just because I left the other one on the table. We do have our little salt. Let's salt the veggies too. Why not? A little bit of pink Himalayan for some flavor, and gosh, those peppers are beautiful though, man. I am totally throwing pieces of stuff everywhere. I'm gonna have to clean this later. Sometimes I look at people's kitchens that when they're doing this cooking stuff and I go, how do they keep it so clean? And then I realize, oh, because they have a cleaning crew, stupid. A little bit of soy sauce, food coloring. My dad used to call it coloring. And you put coloring so it looks like this. I think my grandma, used to call it coloring to make it look prettier. But it's definitely seasoning. Got some low sodium soy. I'm going to have to fill that up. And beautiful fried rice. Not quite Panda Express, but it works. It's not bad. Got our peppers and onions here on this other burner. I'm actually probably going to switch pan locations because I do want to be able to put the chicken that I put in the oven into the pan and give it that last toss. But we'll see here. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And we'll flip this over really quick so that nothing's burning on the bottom. Oh, those are so pretty. Not bad. That's a half a red and half a green. I guess peppers were in season because they were on sale at the store. So now we'll turn off the heat on that pan, or turn it down at least, and we will take out the chicken. I think it's done. And turn off the oven and take that out. So the Trader Joe's bag is really simple. You put it in your oven, you bake it, kind of toss it around while you're baking it so that it gets crispy on all sides, and then you have this beautiful fried looking chicken that you can just throw in, and it's ready to go just like that. Once it's cooked, once it's warmed up or heated, it's ready to go. It's actually super easy. We'll kind of make sure all the pieces are inside before we do anything else. Give it a little mix with those peppers though. Beautiful. Look at that color. Who needs Panda Express when we have Panda Express at home? No, but key point, make sure you turn off your stove or your heat source before you add the sauce. This is one of the packets. You could definitely add both packets, but I'm trying to cut back on sodium and sugar and lots of those things, and that just means that we're not doing both packets. But you could do both packets if that's what you want. By all means, it still tastes good either way. Just gonna give this a light glaze from the sauce, and you can see it kind of steaming as it hits the pan. Make sure my rice isn't burning. The burner's off, but it's just, yeah. And we'll have to get a spoon for this. Appreciate you, everybody, for the support that I received and the nice messages about everything. Trying to be consistent here. So my goal is to record every time that I'm cooking in the kitchen, which is just about every single night. We don't go out all that often, so when we do, it's a special thing. Trying to avoid doing the fast food, but maybe we'll throw in some lunch, maybe we'll throw in some desserts. I don't do a ton of desserts, but when I do, you guys will know. It's time to plate up. I have these bowls that are kind of like a half bowl, half plate. I really like them because it allows me to put stuff in and not have to worry about it like going blah off the table. But we're going to do half and half of the rice in each bowl, and going to try and scrape those little veggie bits off because otherwise it's a waste, and the idea is not to waste. So Trying to get as much of it as we can. We probably won't be able to get all this onion off, but more than enough. Make it look kind of pretty. And light rinse that. And finally, we'll go ahead and put that orange chicken on. But guys, I really do appreciate all the support with my cooking endeavors and just sharing what goes into making my meals for us. I learned how to cook because I like to eat, and I was picky growing up, so I was told if you don't want to eat what's made, go make something else. So I would go and fry an egg or scramble an egg. I'll be honest, I had a lot of scrambled eggs as a kid. Scrambled eggs and rice because I didn't like tomatoes or onions or bell peppers or a lot of things. It was just a lot of flavor. But we're going to put some furikake, which is like this seaweed seasoning stuff on it, and give you guys one last shot. But I appreciate you guys hanging out. Don't forget to subscribe, like, show some love. I'll see you guys next time.